Hashem created the world for the Torah and for Am Yisrael. And He created Am Yisrael to study Torah and to keep the mitzvot. So just like the Torah itself has within it the 365 negative commandments and 248 positive commandments, which total 613. So we were also created in a spiritual form, B'Tselem Elokim, just like the Torah, where we have 248 limbs, which correspond to 248 positive commandments, and 365 sinews, which correspond to the 365 negative commandments. So the whole essence of man is to keep Torah and mitzvot. And the Torah is the source, because without learning Torah we don't know how to do the mitzvot. And then through our 613 limbs and sinews, we can keep the mitzvot, positive and negative, and bring ourselves to perfection. One of the mitzvot is that a person has to be a zealot, to fight for the name, to sanctify Hashem's name. And the halakha is, if someone sees another Jew committing a very serious sin, for example, like Zimri ben Salu, who brought a Midianite woman into the camp and flaunted her around in front of Moshe and everyone, showing off, and then took her into his tent to sin with her. Pinhas, who saw this and was a true zealot for the honor of Hashem, he took his spear and went in and stabbed them both and killed them. And Hashem gave him for that Brit Shalom, a covenant of peace. Now it says about Pinhas, V'ikar, V'yar Pinhas, he saw what's going on. V'ikar, Romach V'yadu, he took his spear in his hand. But the spear should be spelled with a Vav, and it's spelled Resh Mem Chet. So we can explain why does the Torah say he took his Ramach in his hands. Because a person cannot be a zealot and without a Beit Din and without witnesses just go and kill another Jew because he thinks he's sinning. Unless he's a true zealot. A true zealot is someone who is perfect in all his deeds and actions. So when it says, V'ikach Ramach B'yadu, he took the 248, which means his spear, which is Ramach, which is 248, in his hands. He checked all his limbs, one after the other, and only when he saw that he has no ulterior motives and no lacking in any of his limbs, that he was perfect, did he take upon himself to avenge the name of God and kill Zimri ben Salu. So we see here that what perfection is, that each limb of ours must be brought to perfection by fulfilling the mitzvot which correspond to that limb. Now, the Gemara in Brachot on page 31, on the second side, it tells us about the Tzaddiket Hannah, who was praying to Hashem in a very powerful way, because she was barren and didn't have children. And the Gemara quotes the Pasuk, which says, V'Hannah medaberet al liba, and Hannah was speaking upon her heart. Amar Rabbi Elazar said, Mishum Rabbi Yosei, in the name of Rabbi Yosei, Ben Zimra, Al eske liba, concerning her heart. What do you mean upon her heart? Concerning her heart. So what was she telling Hashem? Amra lefanav, she said to Hashem, Ribono shel olam, Hashem, the master of the universe, Kol ma shebarata be'isha lo barata davar ehad lebatala. Everything you created in the body of a woman, you created for a purpose. Enaim lir'od, eyes to see. Oznaim lishmoa, ears to hear. Hotem le'ariach, nostrils to smell. Pe ledaber, a mouth to speak. Yadayim la'asot ha'em melacha, hands to do work with. רגליים להלוך בהן, legs to walk with, דדים להניק בהן, and you created in a woman those limbs which she uses to feed her baby. Now she asked Hashem a question. דדים הללו שנתת על ליבי, למה? Why did you give me these limbs which are to feed a baby? לא להניק בהם, not in order that I should feed my baby. תן לי בן ואניק בהם. Give me a baby and I'll feed him. So the question is, what's her argument? So Hashem gave her eyes to see and ears to hear and nostrils to smell and a mouth to speak and hands to do and legs to go. Yeah, they say that. And He created her as a woman. She has the limbs which are to feed her baby, and He didn't give her a baby. Where is the obligation here that she is demanding a child from Hashem? What is her right to demand a child? So we can explain like this, that she said to Hashem, Hashem, you created all these wonderful limbs in a human being. You gave me eyes to see. Did I ever misuse my eyes? Did I ever look at what's forbidden, what's wrong, what's immoral, what's improper, what's not mine, jealously? No. I use my eyes only for good things. To read Tehillim, to learn Torah, whatever, for good things. Ears to hear. Ears to hear. Did I ever listen to evil talk, immoral talk, pop music? No, I use my ears only to hear the words of the Rabbi and good things. A mouth to speak. Did I ever speak Lashon Hara, improper talk, evil talk? No, I use my mouth only for good, healthy discussions of Torah and mitzvot, to encourage others, to help others, to do good things. Since I didn't misuse any of my limbs, and all my limbs, I kept them all pure and only for your service, to do your will. If so, I have a big demand now. You created me with the limbs to feed a baby, give me a baby. If I would have misused any of my other limbs, okay, you can say, look, I gave you limbs, you didn't use them properly. But I used everything for the proper reason, in the proper way. If so, I'm a woman, I have these limbs, give me a baby. So Hashem had to give her a baby because He accepted her argument and her claim that since she never misused the limbs, that she deserves having a baby. So we see how important it is. In other words, how important it is that a woman must be tsanua, must dress modestly, and not in a way that the clothes she wears show off her figure and things like that. Because she could not have argued, you gave me these limbs and did I ever misuse them? If she was dressing immodestly and showing off how she looks. She couldn't have made this claim and Hashem wouldn't have given her her baby. It was only because 100% she never misused any of her limbs, and specifically these limbs that now she says, since all the other limbs are used for the proper purposes, and the proper purpose of having this limb is only for feeding a baby, please give me a baby, and Hashem gave her a baby. So this is a very important lesson for us to know, that Hashem created us in the most beautiful form. It's a heavenly form, a divine form, B'Tselem Elokim. Every limb and every sinew has deep significance and is meant to be kept and used in the most holy way, not to harm and pervert divine Tselem, our Tselem Elokim, but to enhance it by doing with our limbs and sinews only the will of Hashem, the mitzvot. Amen. Ken Hi Ratzon.